Okay. Looks like round 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can hold up here. So it is a BTC rally. XRP a little higher. ETH not much higher. Bitcoin Cash a little bit. Tron towards the highs of its current run. Yeah, there's some good volume. Let's go take a bigger time frame perspective. Okay, so what's our volume like? Yeah, it happens fast. All those orders are sitting right there over that level, so they're going to be right on top of it there. So 43, 43.50. Still haven't seen much distribution yet. I hate to go to a 1-minute chart, but just kind of see what our volume's doing here. I was kind of hoping it would run. Now a little bit. Bitcoin Cash up 3%. SWIT rallied out as well. Not quite as big. This is one of those Bitcoin rallies, guys. Sometimes these go and pretty much only Bitcoin runs. Like BSV's catching up. NEM's actually running too. BSV. Tron's up 8 right now. Tron with some really good volume. Bitcoin 5%. ETH only 2.49. Is it going to get going here? ETH broke the early trend line. Looks like we're waiting for it to get over our... So we have an alert at 147.07 that has not been triggered yet. Bitcoin's going, though. 43.67. Thanks, babe. Got some more water for me to spill on my desk. See if we consolidate, if we reverse what we do. So far, we're holding right up high there. And ideally, that's what you want to see going up, is just holding higher. You just noticed, Phil? Oh, that's why you have the alert system, my friend. You don't got to look. It just tells you. It's the easiest thing in the world. It's just there. And still holding higher. 5-6% on a couple exchanges. Things looking great. Pop going good so far. Tron 7%. XL, no, not XLM. Well, Phil, you got to be ready for each opportunity. You got to be ready in both directions. You know something's coming. You don't have to necessarily understand exactly where it's going to go, but you do have to be ready for whatever that eventual outcome is. Yeah, 5%. We're holding right there at the top there. Not giving it up yet. Those bears don't appear to be around. Just pegged. Pegged. Cash at 4% now. Bitcoin Cash is in a rising trend. This could start to end up getting going. Zane, I'm not sure if we switched to a bull market per se, but you know what? I'm a believer. You go with the direction, so you just go with the direction. And then if it ends up shifting on us completely. See, if you didn't see our last stream there, Zane, we talked about a distribution area in BTC. Now, it's actually right now at a prior level of resistance right there. Looks like it's barely above it. Yeah, it just wicked above it right there. But this is our kind of open area where anything can happen in here. We could top in here. Keep in mind, we still don't have... You didn't see the last stream. Okay, thanks for clarifying. We still do not have a higher low from 6,000. I think that's one of the main takeaways, is that we don't have a higher low. We could end up with a higher low out of this. Not saying it's definitely going to do that. What I'm saying is that without a higher low, no, lower high. Sorry, I do that all the time with higher low, lower high. well, first of all, without a higher high, you cannot have a definitive trend change. So in my opinion, this is our last high that we got. I don't think this is a high. I don't view this as a high, this or this. I don't think any of this is a high. This is just consolidation. Looks like Litecoin just got going too, 4%. I saw the alert, Ian, and then you chimed in too. Yeah, everything happened. So there's Litecoin going 4%, trying to catch up real quick to Bitcoin. Real quick. We noted how low the volume has been on Litecoin, how tight the range has been. We talked about never shorting it. And there we go on Litecoin too. So Bitcoin pulling up Litecoin, which is what normally happens there. SV up 5. Tron holding up 8. Bitcoin now up 8. Going to 45. Yeah, so far this is pretty good. Ooh, on the 15-minute looks really good. See, there's the volume. No whipsaws at all. None. There is no distribution in this. I think. Making a change in a Litecoin here. Well, there's no need to be nervous, Ian. You know, when you get in these situations, you just let it work. I mean, you've got your plan. You just let the plan work. There should be no nerves involved. If you find yourself nervous, odds are a mistake is about to happen. And what's Litecoin up to? Litecoin now catching up with BTC 8% now. So we got Litecoin catching up. Right there. Yeah, you know, I'm still a little bit, well, I'm a little less afraid of it now, how it's broken out the past few minutes. But, yeah, that's always a concern. Nick, the alert system woke you up? Awesome. That's great, man. That's a good question. I don't think anybody knows how high it's going to go. Depends how much volume's here. So one thing to look at is how high some recent pops have been. You know, we've had recent pops up about this high. I mean, we could start seeing a little bit of selling. We usually get pops around this high before we see some type of consolidation or distribution. Batman asked if I'm still bearish. I'm pretty neutral. We've been you know, at least in the power hour, we've been waiting kind of for 4,200 and the pop and seeing how it behaves and what happens and if it pops and drops and shakes us out. But that's the first sell order I've seen in a long time right there. 100 BTC just sold on Coinbase. So seeing a little bit of selling right there, not much at all though. No follow through. You know, I'm not, you know, necessarily 100% bullish thinking we're right back into a bull market, but I like the rally. I'm a trader. That's what you have to remember. I'm a trader. So if you don't see this one coming, you need to redo something. That's Batman selling 100 BTC right there. You know, not a bad strategy. That's a quick 8%. That's not too bad. Litecoin also up about, also showing a little bit of distribution. It looks like I saw it just chop and then drop. You see it chop at 8.3 back to 8 into the 7s. That's a little bit of distribution. I wish you wouldn't cover the damn thing with the X. Bitcoin now down 7.5. So there's some profit taking. Yeah, I'm in BTC. I got in a little bit earlier. I got into Ethereum. And I bought some Litecoin too. Bruce Wayne dumping BTC. Maybe. We'll see. So far, it's holding up really nice. Oh, 352 Bitcoin just sold on Coinbase right there. That's a pretty large trade. Oh, that's Litecoin. Never mind. I'm looking at Litecoin. It's not nearly as large. I was talking Litecoin numbers. BTC has 112 sell block at 44.50, and that's about it. Other than that, it's just Satoshis. 3 BTC, couple BTC, 6 BTC. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm like, oh, 100 Bitcoin, that's a big trade. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm looking at Litecoin. But Bitcoin, look at it just holding right up there, not really distributing. Not a lot of major buys happening, but they're eating some of this distribution, it looks like. They're just holding it here, which is fine. 2-hour volume looking pretty good, an hour and 15 minutes. This is going to be a big candle. That's really what you look for. So we talk about these high volume situation areas. There's the actual volume bar here. We talk about these low volume situation areas giving way to high volume areas and kind of shifting the market a little bit. Coinbase, Michael. Coinbase. TRX is selling off 7 to 8%. So what happens in these situations is Bitcoin sucks up all the money. That's what happens, Ian. It pretty much just sucks it up. Its market cap is so huge, it's just a massive capital vacuum cleaner. Yeah, Batman, I agree. I don't think this isn't a new money pump. Look, the whole new money argument for Bitcoin getting higher is perfectly valid and legitimate. The problem is that it doesn't happen in one pump. It happens over the course of weeks and months. The new money has to kind of flow in. It's like a tide. It's not a tidal wave, but it's a tide that kind of comes in. It will sustain a run. It doesn't necessarily initially pump it. Well, new money is thousands and thousands of people, and they don't all do the same thing at the same time. So you just kind of have to, let it do its thing. I'm going to go back to BTC here. I'm not sure why I'm not watching BTC. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Oh, look at that. That'll happen in 15 minutes. And look at my volume aggregation tool. That's how good it is. No, I'm just kidding. It's just one big pop. RSI is at 8 million and 103. RSI is at 103. That's a pretty nice candle there. Not bad at all. And look at that. Look at our selling candle we're getting. Market cap's up 5.7%. I actually have total over here. Yeah, 5.7%, Julian. Yeah, good catch. Yep, also rallying over that low level right there. And that's another thing we've been noticing we didn't talk about. Every day I go through all of these coins every single day. And you can see they're all down now according to BTC. So if you're going to sell something, you have to sell it in a Tether. Can't sell it into Bitcoin right now. Oh, Litecoin actually positive 5.52 against. Look at all this red, sea of red versus Bitcoin. These are all Bitcoin prices. Yeah, look at that selling pressure. Just coming right in there and moving Bitcoin up. That's the selling pressure that we have right now. And Litecoin right there with Bitcoin, 7%, 7.69%. And the Tether exchange is Binance down a little bit compared to the rest. What's Tether doing? No, one pretty much dead even. Yeah, Batman, you're welcome. I don't think there's a better time to do them, to be honest with you. I mean, really. I don't think there is. This is going to get another move right here, it looks like. There it goes. Are they going to sell into it, or are they going to let it go? Let's find out. Oh, you just broke the high. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. 44. I got no sell orders here. There we go. 45, son. Litecoin 9%, running right along with it. Tron still kind of chilling, not doing a whole lot. Look at that. I haven't seen a move like this in a while. This is just good action. There's really nothing at all wrong with this action. Do you think ETH will catch up? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to catch up. I know it looks like it did just catch up a little bit. We just rallied 5% in ETH. We should see an alert come off there in a minute. The alerts update every minute or so, so we should see that coming up here in a little bit. Litecoin up 10%, Bitcoin up 10%. Coming up into that no-go zone. Not really a no-go zone, but an area of really no resistance up until 5,800. So we could do anything up there. 59. Yeah, right. I'd scream with you, Batman, but still trying to nurse this throat for tomorrow's power hour. Allergy season here in Arizona. Been brutal. 11%. And EOS up 6%. This is going to push everything higher, at least against the dollar. Let's see how brutal it is against for some of the altcoins here. 10%. Here, let's just do this. There you go. 11% for Walton Coin. And 8% for total. I don't, still can't say we bottomed Casey for sure. I got to be honest with you. It's hard, and there's the alert for Ethereum. That one lagged a little bit. It's hard to say that we for sure have bottomed, but I got to say I like the trade. I got to say I like the trade. Alex, I thought you were going to bed or something. Aren't you somewhere else? Well, what happened? We got the pop at 42. Everyone's looking at 42, and it's just been rock solid. This is just one very, very solid candle. I mean, the distribution on the 1 minute. Look at that. Look at my volume aggregation tool. So we go from 2 sells to 266 over 3,700 buys. It's like a 15-to-1 ratio. If I were to add my I'm not sure what those do. Those are experimental at best. They're not working right now. And a little bit of selling right there. Let's see if we finally get a pause. Look at that on the 1 minute. Boom, 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 boom. And then that's where I mentioned we were going to go because we started getting towards that high. And then boom, we break it, and there's that volume influx. Nope, no selling at all. Just continuing. Everybody's waiting for this. 14%. Litecoin lagging up 11%. Two candles almost measured moves of each other. How did NAV close above a level? I don't know who's in the live stream. I haven't even looked. Oh, 100 people? Yeah, that's not bad. It's good pumps all around. Pretty solid volume. Look at the difference there between Bittrex and Coinbase. That's a large difference. That's a pretty large difference. That's like 5% within itself. I'm not sure why that is. It could be some crazy arbitrage opportunity if someone has a bot for that or something. I wouldn't want to do that manually. That's difficult, but that's an interesting difference in price there. And leveling off here a little bit. Boom, there's some distribution. Hope we bottom. The bottom is boring. Yep, bottom's pretty boring. What's up, Ted? We're going to go to 5.2 and settle. That's what Lakers reaction is saying there. Question has been answered. So Moon at looks like 12 or 21.32. That's the answer to win Moon. So told you I'd have an answer for you. For a few weeks, Casey. Yeah, maybe. I mean, this is good volume. So we're looking at the 2-hour chart now. So let's get rid of these secondary indicators. Let's just kind of naked chart this thing. And we've got, so last time I had volume, this high was back here, and you can see we sustained us for a significant rally. Oh, did Doge go too? I've got Doge up here somewhere. Oh, it's only 3%. Who cares? And so this is a much larger candle than this one was here down at the bottom. And seeing a little bit of distribution back into our area up here of kind of, nothing land, kind of lackluster everything. I will have to say one thing about this candle here that I didn't like was that it was just one candle. I didn't like that, but it's, it still ended up producing pretty good results. Yeah, 20% jumps. Those were the days. This is a nice one, though. I gotta say, this is a nice one. It's pretty rare that you get something so well telegraphed. This is one of those trades that doesn't happen very often. Trend line from the top, Ted? I don't know if I don't have that drawn here. I've got that trend line. So that one's a longer one. We had this one. That's the one you're looking at. Yeah, see that? I don't know if that's too bad. So here's the daily chart. So we have quite a bit left in the daily chart going on here. Someone commenting on XRP. Yeah, only 3%. That didn't really get going, man. I was kind of hoping that would have a bigger pop. Bitcoin Cash up 8%, rising over that rising wedge. We talked about this in the power hour today. Tanked. That's only down 3%. It's not too bad. It just, Bitcoin just sucks the air out of the room. It just sucks it out of the room. That's exactly what it does. It's just so big. I mean, when you got something with a market cap of, I don't even know what the market cap is right now. I don't really pay attention to that particular stat anymore. But when you got something with such a large market cap, it's it just sucks all the air out when it starts to run because everybody tries to get involved. Well, that's what's happening here is everyone's trying to get involved. So it sucks all the air out of all the other coins. They start selling them. I actually just closed out my Tron position just to sit it in BTC for the rally. We'll see if that's a good decision or a bad one. I was a little late on that one. Yeah, well, lots of maybes, Casey. I mean, like I said, you've got a plan. Just trade your plan and let the chips fall where they may. I mean, it's holding up really well. Go to the 1 minute chart here. We're not really distributing very much. Look at the volume aggregation tool. Still very much green. Reds have barely participated in this rally so far. So, I mean, I wouldn't really start counting chickens before they hatch here. People follow TRX. I follow all the coins. I follow 150, 160 coins a day, man. I give a crap about TRX or XRP. We were following RVN like it was a hot blonde walking down the street offering free favors for a while there. Didn't even care about XRP or I haven't even talked about XRP in maybe once every 2 weeks because people get mad at me when I don't, but that's about it. Yeah, I don't really care about any specific coin. But yeah, I mean, in terms of, I don't know about this being a topping candle. The structure of the 1 minute pattern just looks like further accumulation is taking place. It doesn't look like there's any kind of major distribution happening. I mean, it looks fine. Looks good. All right, EOS 7.2%. Litecoin 10%, coming back a little bit. What's up, Christina? How'd you miss out? Can't miss out. You didn't have your orders ready? Gotta have those orders ready. So that's a good point, Casey. Yeah, honestly, I didn't do a leverage position either on this one, which I feel like crap now, but the rest of my account was involved, so I don't really care that much. So look, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to understand and recognize and respect the market cycle. That's absolutely paramount. At the end of the day, though, our job is to trade the charts, and really, that's all we do. So, if you got a bearish bias and the thing's going up, I mean, we've already had several good trades to the upside over the past year, and those mostly have worked out pretty well. A couple got stopped out, but the inverted head and shoulders worked out flawlessly. I mean, not too many have, obviously. We've been in a bear market. But in this situation, 42, have your stop and play. No stop got hit. None. No stops got hit. So there's really not a major reason to be out of this trade. All right, so seeing lower volume on the way up there, that right there could put a little bit of pause to this rally. Man, Randall, you must hate XRP. Did it steal your lunch money or something? What happened? Do I think I'm out of the bear? Keep getting asked that question. I really don't have a great answer to that. We've been doing a lot of talking over the past 2-3 weeks now about the differences in this part of the market cycle than the last part of the market cycle that we've been in. If you go back to the daily chart in terms of in terms of the 50 period moving average. Are we above the 200-day? We are above the 200-day, guys. We are above the 200-day. We talked a little bit about, the moving averages and kind of how it's been behaving around there, and this being a little bit different. We've talked about the length that we've been down here. We went through some secondary indicators, and we noted the VA tool here. We noted the zero selling, which is still going to continue to be zero selling. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is the bottom. I mean, there's a possibility of that. We talked a little bit ago, or I guess in the last live stream, about the market ecosystem is so much larger now than it was back in 2015. So maybe what ended up happening is that instead of a major capitulation, because there's just so many exchanges, and we've discussed this in the Power Hour as well. Hey, what's up, Pete? How you doing, buddy? We've discussed that, maybe all these other exchanges and all that stuff, maybe that did actually hide what should have been a capitulation, just turned into this longer consolidation, which now has taken 5 months. I mean, that's 5 months right now. So I don't know if we go directly back into a bull. There's a potential for that. We just have to see how this reacts. Remember, again, in the last live stream, what I discussed was that when Bitcoin rallies, it doesn't pull back. Bitcoin just does not pull back. So if we see really nice tight consolidations, and we use this as a little example right there, just a little rally. Here's another a less extreme example of no pullbacks, but this one really no pullbacks till it actually topped, and then we discussed selling as it undercut that right there. So I can't say if it's the bottom. All I got to say is that if you got it at 42, you're at basically 47 right now. That's a nice gain. And, we're holding the trade. It's not breaking any rules, not breaking any levels. And so we just end up, maybe we just end up going with it, and we end up getting the bottom by default with good trading strategies. Maybe we don't actually get capitulation. Gomri says volume seems low. Hey, what's up, Gomri? How you doing, man? So keep in mind, this is a daily chart, and this closes at 5 o'clock my time. And it's 10 o'clock my time. This is only a 5-hour chart and a 24-hour chart. So the volume could end up being super huge on this candle. It's at least going to be huge. I don't know about super huge. It's at least going to be huge. So Yeah, we're still holding up pretty good. A weekly capitulation. Well, the weekly is going to encapsulate more volume. No, it still wouldn't be capitulation. You know, to be honest with you, oh, not that I'm never honest with you, but to be honest with you guys, don't get caught up in labels. I mean, really. Just don't get caught up in labels. Sometimes the market just doesn't do stuff. Doesn't do what you expect it. Doesn't do what you want it to do. It does what it does. Guys, we're here as observers and participants. We're not here to label it and judge the market. You can't judge the market. You can't diagnose the market in, well, that's probably a little dishonest there. You just go with the market. Our job is to ride the roller coaster. We don't operate it, okay? We're not the guys that oversee it and say, oh, that bolt's a little loose there. You can't drive today. We don't get to say that. So all we get to do is trade. That's cool, Nacho Man. Yeah. I mean, it is elevated volume, but I mean, look at that candle. How could that candle not have that volume bar associated with it, right? It's just such a tremendous candle that it's got to have an equally tremendous volume association with it. And then, you know, I honestly, you know, if it is the bottom, if it is indeed the bottom, not too much down here says that this is the bottom. We don't have really high volume here. We have 3 lower lows. I mean, no major volume here. We have one nice pop right there. And then a secondary nice pop here. I mean, this is really the only indication that we have of is structure. I mean, the only thing is structure. You know, the people that are like absolutely calling this the bottom and saying, you know, it is the bottom, it is the bottom, it is the bottom. You know, how many people did we hear say that is 6K? You know what I mean? And I mentioned this in a video a while back. Maybe it was a live stream. Maybe I recorded it and it never made it to air. But someone's gonna say, I called the bottom right here. Let's say that is the bottom. Someone's gonna say, I called 3100, and it was the bottom. And you know what? They're gonna feel on cloud 9, and good for them. But is lucky. It's just luck. It's just luck. And you know, it is what it is. Some people are a little lucky in some circumstances. And actually, earlier today, someone asked me in the Slack chat room, I think it was Vlad. Vlad was asking me, hey, are we going to, you know, have we seen panic? Have we seen, talking about the market cycles chart? Yeah, here we go. It says, I think in crypto space, depression already happened several times very quickly. That's pretty funny, Vlad. And I said, oh, I'm not sure we had panic. I don't think I saw anger. Definitely had complacency, anxiety, and denial. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll pull up the Slack chat room here. There's this chart here. Complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, disbelief. This is a sucker's rally. I mean, and now when you get into disbelief, we end up over here. And then there's hope again, and then optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I don't know if we got depression. Maybe we did. Maybe it could be a situation, at least for the people in my community, that we've been so focused on the bear that you just kind of end up living the bear. And then you can't really see sometimes when things turn. I really try not to be that guy, and hopefully I haven't been that guy here. I do believe truly honesty in what I said here. No capitulation. If this is indeed the bottom, maybe this is a place to hold trades from, 42. You know, why not? It doesn't have to, you know, we don't have to have capitulation. There's no written rule book. Yeah, Casey, you know, you know what? It's so hard. And I talk about this in my market cycles webinar. If you guys remember my market cycles webinar, if you guys, you know, go watch it again if you haven't watched that in a while. What I talk about in there is the hardest part of trading is when your market cycle changes. Man, I can't catch my breath today. But the hardest part about trading is cycle change and trend change. That's the hardest part to trading, because you're stuck in this trade for so long. You train your mind. You really train your mind to live in this mindset of bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, or bullish, 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 that when it comes to being a bear, I mean, you saw the shift that a lot of people failed to have when I was talking about a bear market. I mean, anytime after 20K, I talked about a bear market. Every single video, without fail. A couple times I did a joke video about Bitcoin going to 300,000. That was a fun video, but pretty much every video, you know, and I made some fans, obviously, but didn't make a lot of friends that way. There were some people that just weren't having it, obviously. But anyway, you know, making that shift and being bearish, you know, for so long, I have to remind myself that the market will shift, and I have to be ready, you know, and I have to be there. And I didn't get that feeling down here. I get that feeling here after a lot of work. Bitcoin did a lot of work. I mentioned a long time ago too that it takes work to change things, and that's some work right there. So there's a good possibility that yes indeed we have potentially shifted out of bear, not necessarily directly into a bull, but we could end up shifting into some kind of a more choppy cycle. And Bitcoin's holding good, up 15%. Got Litecoin settling down at about 10%. EOS up to about 10%. ETH got a little more frisky there, up 7%. And Ethereum again with not life-changing volume. 42 minutes left in a 2-hour candle. Maybe that'll change. We'll see there. There she goes again. Is she going back up again? I'm on the 2-hour chart. Oh, yeah, there she goes. There's your pullback. There's your pullback. We talked about that a little bit ago. So far, I don't see how this really would turn around. It's such an aggressive uptrend. Now, I've said it a little bit ago, and I'll say it again. When Bitcoin rallies, it does not come back down. It does not come back down. This looks exactly like that. Exactly like that. Leaving Litecoin in the dust, up 11%. Is this anti-capitulation? This is accumulation. In the last video, in the last live stream I just did, I just said that the 200 period moving average, the 200 daily moving average, you're going to see a lot of people coming in. That could run at about, I just pulled 5% out of my butt. Oh, hitting the wrong button here. Look at that, 5%. Now 6% from the 200 period moving average, 200 daily moving average. That alone is going to make people buy Bitcoin. Just that one event. So I mean, there's just so many bullish things right there that it's just confluence after confluence. And there we go. 18%. We're going to have a 20% day. EOS rallying 11%. Litecoin 11%. That's about it. That's about it. I mean, this is a fantastic rally, guys. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely zero wrong with how this is behaving. Zero. $49, gonna be $5K pretty soon. We'll see if we get some distribution. That's a pretty big round number. And we're yeah, what's up, Mexican Charlie Lee? What's up, buddy? $20% on Coinbase. You see where all the money went right there. Dollar exchanges. And Tether. Tether's even up at 101. Bad idea to buy right now. It's a little risky. I don't think it's I think if you're willing to hold through a 5% or so pullback, it's probably okay. If you're willing to hold a 5% pullback or so. Yeah, I would say it's probably not too bad. It's going to cause, you're going to see some insane distribution. Yeah, let me rephrase that. It would cause some insane distribution. Emo, you bought it at 32, just hold it. There's no distribution. Look, I'm not a big guy of selling like this. That's not my style there, Emo. So good buy at 32, just hold it. If this is indeed the bottom, just hold it. I mean, look, I can't guarantee it's not the bottom. If you bought a 32, hold it. Just hold it. Now it's 5K buys coming in. Let's see if we see some distribution. Not yet. Excuse me. I mean, man, just craziness. So, no selling. I mean, let's go back to that 1 minute chart. I mean, we literally could, let's just watch it on the 1 minute chart. I try not to do that, but screw it. I really try not to watch the 1 minute chart, but I mean, I really haven't had to in this rally. There's sometimes where in the power hour we'll catch live coins. I don't know, once a week, twice a week, maybe something like that. And I don't know. I would jump on Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin than I would Tron. You want to jump on a first tier coin, Ted, not a second tier coin. You don't want to jump on a second tier coin here. You want to jump on a first tier coin. But yeah, what I was saying is that sometimes we'll catch a live move in the power hour, and we'll hold it on the 1 minute chart, and we'll say, okay, where's the volume coming in? What's the pattern doing? Look at that. Just I haven't even had to go down to the 1 minute chart. It's just been definitely just sitting at highs. There's been no distribution. There's just nothing but accumulation down here. Nothing. Pretty impressive move, Bitcoin. I can't say I was expecting 20%. I can't say that, but it was in the back of my mind. Of course, everything's in the back of my mind, so that doesn't tell you much. Getting that FOMO feel to sell. Nacho Man? Oh, maybe. I, I don't know. I'm kind of happy with the position. I may just let this thing ride. I mean, let's see what the daily. We just had another influx of volumes. Let's see what the daily holds for us. Definitely elevated volume, and this is going to be a great daily candle. I saw a flash of sells there, but it was Satoshi sells. It wasn't even like a full Bitcoin on the sell side. Oh, there. Now we're selling down up sub 5K real quick. But just Satoshis. There's a couple BTC right there. All right, coming back below 5K. There's some distribution. Now you got to see how it responds. Let's go to the 1 minute and get scared. All right. So there's the 1 minute. Usually what happens in these rallies is you want to look for a prior high to be respected or to fail. This is kind of your first indication of a break. Something else we use in the power hour every single day, I don't know why you guys aren't in the power hour, is we have, and the guys here will tell you this, we have exceptional success. Let me repeat that. Exceptional success with using trend lines effectively to exit extremely rising positions. I can't, there's no better way that I know, and crypto has just proved it, is trend lines. $65 a month, Ian. $65 a month. But anyway, so there's different ways to use it. There's some minutia involved, and not really, but there's a couple little rules of thumb. But when you have trends that are decently established, using a trend line as a sale point is just, I mean, I can point to, I mean, trades off the top of my head. EOS, we timed the top of EOS beautifully. That RVN trade, we timed that one twice with a trend line break very well. Those are just ones that stand out on the top of my head. Litecoin, we had a Litecoin trade I think that we did really well with a trend line break, and there's been a myriad of smaller coins that trend line break. So everyone asks me when to get out. You can use different metrics, but ideally the market is the ultimate metric, and trend line is just a fantastic way of doing that. Excuse me. And so there's your pullback, apparently. Yeah, there you go. All right, Litecoin 11% with a big rally, and then not much after that, not much follow through. Look through some of these again. We've got EOS still up 10%. EOS has been holding 10% like Litecoin's been for a while. Litecoin looking good. Bitcoin really like I say, Bitcoin sucks up all the money. Binance down, yeah, I wouldn't. Still down? I don't know if it's still be down. Yeah, look at these differences here in Binance and Coinbase are still way out of whack. Like that arbitrage opportunity is still viable, it looks like. Excuse me. Throat's still pretty dry. Casey, are you using their app, their desktop app, or are you using the website? Because I know that can make a world of difference. If you're using their API-based application, it tends to be a little more performant. Oh, you are using the app. Wow. Their API is even getting bogged down. Yeah, I was thinking about those APIs, man. They're good, but I mean, it still just pulls the same endpoint, so you're not going to be very everyone's hitting that endpoint, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I mean, so far so good, holding up really well. Nothing really wrong here. Not a lot of distribution. Litecoin selling off a little bit more. Not much. Bitcoin is holding up very nicely here. Very, very nicely. Yeah, a little more selling. And bought right back up. So there you go, guys. I mean, that's our Bitcoin pop. Oh, what's up, Spook Boom? Thank you very much. Appreciate the respect. That's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for. RESPECT. Test succeeded. Gotham. All right, anything else trying to move here? Looks like Litecoin sold off a little bit more. Ethereum sold off a little bit too there. Yeah, Ethereum coming down a little bit more. Money's just being sucked into Bitcoin. Sucking it up. So we have 1 pump, 2 pump, 3 pump. Things typically kind of come in threes here, so there's a decent possibility that that we could end up with a larger pause here. It is a little bit mouse shaped in terms of this base versus the other two. You see, the first one was called a high tight flag. This is called a high tight flag. These are extremely predictive patterns. Almost never fail. Next one is kind of a symmetrical triangle, and that one rallied. And then this is called an H pattern. These actually typically end up lower. And you see the H, the little lowercase h right there. But again, so we have this trend line. Got to see if we're gonna hold up on that one, and you know how we behave, where we end up bottoming at, or if we crash. I mean, there's so much volume. I don't think a crash is very likely, but I mean, it's hard to say it's never going to happen. We've seen some crazy stuff in our day, haven't we, guys? So a crash isn't necessarily out of the question, but I don't know how likely it is given the volume that we've seen. Volume aggregation tool, very green, even on my 1 minute chart here. Are seeing those cells drift up though, obviously. Don't need the VA tool to show you that, but it is a nice little handy dandy guide. And holding up that trend line so far. Oh, he spiked down. And see, the sell volume's low too. That's the other thing. Randall, now you're just doing it for effect. Although I appreciate it a lot. That's up 5%. What was it up earlier? I don't know what it was up earlier. It's holding its own for whatever you call that small rally in the face of Bitcoin's large rally. Let's check out. That's a good point, Ian. Let's check out some other exchanges. Oh yeah, Binance holding really strong. and looks different against Bitfinex. A bit more distribution there, although that's a pretty high volume candle. That may be more accumulation than the chart leads on, even on the 1 minute. And same candle on this exchange on Bitstamp, quite a bit of volume. Man, my voice is going. Gone. Yeah, pulling back a little deeper. Volume pretty tepid, however. And we're coming back down to that point. Let's see if we bounce off of that. Probably won't the way it looks. It'll probably just sink through it. And down to, we have come down quite a little bit here. We're down about 5%, 7% it looks like. Yeah, about 7%. We were up at 22, I remember. But I mean, look at my volume aggregation tool. The sell side is minimal. Maybe the buy side just may have exhausted itself at this point. All right, let's take a bigger picture view at this stage of the game. Look at that. Look at that 15-minute, man. That's just crazy. What market cycle dependent on BTC? So keep in mind what I said earlier. We could pop up, and I mentioned 50, 250, 300 were two numbers I threw out there. Those aren't not really for any big reason, but this inverted head and shoulders we talked about, we may have just hit that in one go. I hope it doesn't just fail after this. That's a nice move. Pretty much met that measured move target and then some out of the inverted head and shoulders pattern. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, we are starting to sell off here a little bit. That on the 1 hour, I mean, even though the volume's low, it still is selling. That's still technically an accurate statement. And so far, we're not getting a lot of support at that trend line. Yeah, maybe they're just letting it drift off. It's so difficult to know who's behind all this stuff and what their plans may be. Well, I mean, it's a pretty deep sell-off. Like, if you look at that 1 hour candle, it looks very scary. But if you look at this 1 minute chart, oh, there you go. I was gonna say they could buy it right back up, and then they start buying again. So I don't know, maybe we close this hour candle above the 4,900 level or something like that. We'll see. We'll see, but actually it came down a little lower, kind of to the breakout point right there from that prior base, not the high, but the breakout point. It'll stop at one of the two. It's healthier usually it's healthier if it stops at the high. But Ed likes big numbers, it looks like. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night here. I do want to get to bed. I got to get up and cover stocks tomorrow, and then I got to do the Real Crypto Power Hour. So I do want to get to bed at a reasonably decent time. So I think I'm going to get going. But yeah, there we go. We got the pop. Glad I came back. Maybe we found a little bottom here, and we'll bounce up a little bit higher. So I'll see a lot of you guys tomorrow. Rest of you guys, yeah, I guess I won't see you tomorrow. See you in a month. I don't know. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me again. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.